Does Rebecca have cochlear implant? And if she did, why did you decide that? And if she doesn't, why did you decide not to?
No, she doesn't. I think our earliest exposure to cochlear implants, it looked pretty brutal. It was in the very earliest days of them, and the scars that we saw kids with kind of horrified us. And that we really shared that sense of it being a process of deformation to make the child more like us that we didn't support at all.
We also, I just want to insert here, we went to the Tracy Clinic and looked into them. She was not a
Or
candidate. Excuse me, the
For
house.
a house hearing.
She was not a candidate for an implant. At the time, she would be now. I think if she were born now, it would be completely different.
Yeah.
But at that time, she had just enough hearing that they actually said no. Now, I think had we been adamant about it, we probably could have pushed it, but neither of us were interested. We'd gone to, as part of our research, we'd gone to a camp. Mark, do you remember the name of it? It was up in Malibu.
Well, it
Where
was
we
through
sat?
House.
It was through
The
House.
House Hearing
and so there were a
Institute
lot
ran
of
a
the
camp.
kids had been implanted. And we were just, they were steel shields. They were huge, and they took up, they're so different now. They were,
I remember
we just had a
back
difficult.
at the time when your children were young, I was approached by parents who asked me, would you put a cochlear implant in your child if your son or daughter were deaf? And my answer was, I would never put a Model T Ford in my kid's head. I'm waiting till there are Ferraris, is what I would do. Now,
Exactly.
a parent asked me that today, I'd have a totally different perspective. Then I'd say, that's parental choice, because it's not horrific anymore, where it was pretty nasty.
Right. And that whole idea of technological upgrade, to have to go back in with that kind of surgery to, I think your perspective is exactly right on that. It's so it was never a question for us. And at some point we said this will be Rebecca's decision someday. And
she's not
Yeah.
expressed an interest, or
No.
She expressed an interest very briefly in high school. And I think she realized when she did a little research that that probably wasn't for her. I think for us at the time it felt like it was a real, it was a way of saying basically we don't approve of you the way you are. And I know that was not a popular opinion, but and I realize now how unbelievably lucky we are that we agreed with each other, because over the years we have met parents who don't agree with each other, and it creates a whole other level of difficulty.
did you see the movie The Sound and the Fury?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really intriguing to see how when people did not agree, the really unpleasant effect it had. So in a lot of ways you're lucky. Well, not lucky. I mean, you just did the research and together agreed.
I don't recall that any of the tripod kids being implanted. Do you?
There was, I think, possibly one girl, but she had multiple other disabilities.